I've been a home brewer for about 17 years now. Started out just as a hobby for fun. Realized that I liked it very much, and then it became a bit of an obsession. Went to school, I got a concise course in brewing technologies certificate from Siebel. Went ahead and started working for Diamond Bear Brewing Company in Little Rock, Arkansas. And then we decided that we were going to move back up here. We kind of made the decision also to go ahead and start working on what became LyonSmith Brewing Company.
My daughter called me in a panic because her husband wanted to start a brewery, and she wanted me to talk some sense into him. So I got on the phone and said, yeah, let's start a brewery.
We're on Water Street in Penn Yan. It's 138 Water Street. We're behind and underneath the liquor store on Water Street in the big white building. We have 3 owners. It's myself and Bruce and my beautiful wife Sarah, who couldn't be with us right this moment. But Sarah handles most of our day-to-day operations here in the tasting room, and she's kind of our office manager and kind of our all-around really good person to know. I brew the beer, and Bruce has a very good taste for beer. So
it's been improved over the last 5 years, I guarantee.
But he's kind of our resident carpenter, fixer guy. He wears all those mechanical hats that I'm just not cool enough to wear.
This building was a winery at one point, and they had cold storage down here. And those stone walls are original foundations for the building. Well, the bar, that's my hobby, is woodworking. Once we got people in here and we realized they wanted to hang out and have some place to sit and drink some pints, so we did 2 round tables around the posts here.
Most everything we have in here, we try to source locally. So all of our confections are made by the Cuca Candy Company right up on Main Street. All of our art is done by local artists. We have spent grain beer treats that's made by a local company for dogs. So we really try to branch out into things that you wouldn't necessarily associate with a brewery, just so we can bring more of our local flair into this building. We were invited to Tap New York. There were something like 120 breweries there this year, and that we were pouring something like 400 beers there. And we brought our Rhiannon Red and our Riley Pale Ale. Our Riley Pale Ale won a gold medal in their Strong Ale competition. We have 4 permanent beers. We have 13 seasonal beers. I release a beer once a month, and 2 in August. And then I also do some one-offs. So all told, yearly I make about 20 different styles of beer.
Basically, I work for the village of Penn Yan, and Peasant Man was working with the village about having their triathlon here, and the clerk at the village of Penn Yan directed them towards this new brewery we were putting together and opening, and we were in English style beers and do English and UK style beers, and it fit right in with the Peasant Man theme, and we were very happy to get involved with the Peasant Man.
You know, they were just rapid fire, you know, here's an idea, you know, we want a dark one, we want a little hoppy one, and I said, okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll make a couple different styles, I'll present them to you, you can taste them, you tell me which one you want, and that will be your Peasant Man beer. So I made 2 different ones. I made a ESB, and I made a porter. Here's this one, you pick which one you like, and you picked both of them. So, which worked fine for us, so now we make the 2 beers, those are our official Peasant Man beers. That would have been our first brew that we actually brewed on our system and sold. Having an event like Peasant Man, that's all about the community and all about, you know, trying to utilize what we have in this beautiful space that we have. It was a natural fit. We couldn't have asked for a better partner. Beer is arguably the oldest fermented beverage in the world. The process has changed somewhat, but not a whole lot over time. So we make all English style beers. English style beers are kind of different from the American styles in that they tend to be less hop forward, and the type of hops that we use are entirely different than the American hops. I'm required to use a certain amount of American hops, New York State hops here, but whenever I can get away with it, I use the English style hops. So this is our mash tun, the very first vessel in the process. This is where the grains get converted into sugar. Goes into this vessel here, which is our kettle. We boil for an hour in this kettle, and that's where we add our hops and any spices. And then it gets run through this little guy here, which is a heat exchanger. It takes our boiling wort and it brings it down to about 70 degrees. These tanks here are fermenters. You'll notice the conical bottom. This allows, so when yeast is done doing its job in here, it drops out of suspension. This allows me to draw the yeast out without disturbing the beer inside, so that it doesn't sit on the yeast when it's finishing the process, but still allows me to keep the beer intact.